Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your daily tarot reading. Thank you for joining me in this reading where I am going to be using the Light Seers deck and the Lover's Oracle deck. So remember to take what resonates and leave behind whatever you feel does not from today's reading. So let's find out what messages come through with the cards for today. So the first card we have is the Ace of Cups. The second card we have is the Two of Cups. So with both of these cards, you could be dealing with a water sign. So a Cancer, Pisces, or even a Scorpio. And finally, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So with the Knight of Pentacles, you could be dealing with an earth sign. So a Virgo, a Capricorn, or a Taurus. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. And with the Knight of Swords, this is showing air sign energy. You could be dealing with a Libra, Aquarius, or even a Gemini. Okay, so with the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this is showing some kind of a halt in, I'm getting communication perhaps in this connection. Perhaps you may have been in a period of not being able to communicate with this person. Perhaps you may be at a distance from them physically, and this is creating what feels like perhaps some kind of a disconnect, some kind of a distance as far as the communication in this connection. But I'm getting that with this card next to the Knight of Pentacles, this is a card all about patience. So I'm really getting that the reason for this communication being at perhaps blocked at this time may be because of something that is like some physical distance or some kind of a barrier in between you at this time. So this person could be at a distance from you. They could be away right now. They could be even just this can also show a focus perhaps on work that may be demanding of their time, their attention at this time. But the Knight of Pentacles is a card all about being able to have patience. So I'm seeing you working your way back to being able to be together as far as the communication, getting back to perhaps a more consistent and frequent exchange or pace very soon. But this card shows the need to be patient, so it could also be that there could be a little bit of a delay. So it could be very soon, but it could also be that you may need to wait this one out, and after this period everything will pick up very quickly. So there could be something that is demanding of either you or the other person in this connection is time. And with the Knight of Pentacles, that's a card that shows that there's a lot of you can trust this person. I'm getting there's a lot of dependability. This person is a reliable person. They show up as someone who's very faithful. So even though perhaps things may be taking some time, this is the most trustworthy Knight of the deck. So with the Knight of Pentacles, this is definitely somebody who, when they say they are working, they definitely are working. So perhaps there is that little hurdle, this thing that is perhaps stunting the communication in this connection for some period of time. But I'm seeing you being able to get over that. And with the Ace of Cups, this card is showing a connection that is very deep in nature. This is a very loving card. This is the ability to have the kind of connection that is very deep. It's very it's very centered around spirituality perhaps, and it's very fulfilling. And it is one where the connection that you share with this person can even be transcendental in nature. It could be one that you feel on a more spiritual level. And with the Two of Cups, I'm getting that this other person is somebody who you perhaps have a connection with that is very easy. It may feel very comfortable. It may have felt like it was one where you found your ideal match. It was very obvious, that feeling. And I'm seeing this other person felt the exact same way when they met you too. This card shows the ability to recognize somebody at a soul level, perhaps a more subconscious level. That is a very deep connection. And with that card showing up next to the Ace of Cups, that makes me think that it's deep even more. And I'm seeing that this is a connection that could be one that has a lot of longevity. You two perhaps really enjoy each other's company, and you also really get each other. This is very deep kind of a connection that you share with this other person. In nature, this is a very harmonious connection. You just seem to fit each other, and it doesn't show a lot of issues. There's a lot of mutual understanding too with both of these cards. And I'm getting that this connection is very healing. It is one that is very fulfilling for both people in this connection. Okay, so I'm going to pull out a card from the Lover's Oracle deck. So I'm going to pull out 3 cards. One for this connection, one for you in this connection, and one for the other person in this connection. So I'm going to start with a card for you in this connection, Sagittarius. Okay, so this is the card that came out for you in this connection. It says romance. It says Cupid's arrow strikes. Okay, so when this connection initially had started, I'm getting that it could have been one that felt like a lot of sparks were flying. It could have been one that perhaps it was very romantic when you first met. And this card shows that there's a lot more romance to come in this connection. It is a romantic connection in nature. And there's a lot of love is what I'm getting with this card saying Cupid's arrow strikes. So this is also the perfect match. What with you both having had been perhaps the subject of Cupid's arrow. And with that Two of Cups also, I'm getting that this is a connection that could even be a soulmate kind of a connection. This person is not, it's not common to come across this kind of a connection or to come across somebody who you can relate to in this way. And I'm getting that you two perhaps may be each other's soulmates with this connection. So I'm going to pull out a card for this other person. So this is the card that came out, and it says trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. Okay, so I'm really getting that this person perhaps has a lot of things that may be demanding of their attention or their presence also outside of this connection. And I'm getting that that is something that perhaps causes this person, they may feel very disturbed by that, because what they want to focus their attention and their time on solely could be this connection. This connection is perhaps a source of feeling very accepted, and it could be a place where they feel very fulfilled. And if they had it their way, they would rather invest that time into this connection. But perhaps it's an obligation that may be calling for their attention as well, with that Knight of Pentacles. So with this card, it is all about being able to trust the current present that they find themselves in. Okay, so I'm going to pull out a card for this overall connection. So this is the card that came out and it says freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Okay, so also with the Ace of Cups, this card also talks about there being some kind of assistance, and that's divine assistance in this connection, and being able to move it forward and also to deepen it and to strengthen it. So with this freedom card, I'm getting that this period is one that is easily overcome, and it could be easier than perhaps you may think it is to overcome perhaps any delays. So with that being said, this is also a call about being able to maintain your faith when it comes to this connection. It is not a lot that can keep the people in this connection apart for very long. And I'm seeing the ability to come back together and to reconnect, or to be able to really work through any barriers or anything that may be keeping you apart. But with the Ace of Cups showing up in this card, that's a divine intervention. That is a hand that is also being lended to this connection and making things possible. So I'm seeing some kind of a reuniting, coming back together, an ability to be able to reconcile and to work through any differences or any barriers being on the horizon for this connection as well. And it leads to this freedom and this free energy. Okay, so that is all I have for this reading, Sagittarius. So that's the message I'm getting, and I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I'll speak to you in tomorrow's reading. Bye, Sagittarius.